Hey y'all. Well, where it is for me, it's morning, so if it's morning where you're at, good morning. Enjoy your coffee and look at this ridiculous mess I have here. A lot of times you'll see just basically this blue towel, and the only reason I use this blue towel is because underneath this thing, and I usually only use it for when I'm on YouTube, and when I work I usually just work on this bench, but it is looking quite terrible. I've scraped this thing so much that it actually made this surface smooth when it's actually it shouldn't be smooth. So it's been scraped down. I've used sandpaper, I've used everything to try and clean this up, but it doesn't take much for this thing to get dirty. So if you wonder why I'm using a towel, that's usually it. That, and it just helps with the color. So it'll show whatever I'm showing just a little bit easier. But as you can see, this bench is in terrible disrepair. I got my power kind of situated here, but then all this mess here where the bird sampler is and the dummy loads in the back, and I'm just going to this watt meter, and I'll show you over here, which is usually out of frame for an absolutely great reason. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm doing just on the low power side, and I kind of have everything here, and it's close to the computer over here because I have to pull up a manual. I can do it real quick on some radio that I'm messing around with, but I just wanted to go over just a couple things on my shack here, and just a couple projects that are coming down the pike. But I just wanted to go into this stuff. I know I've just basically brushed over this. I don't even know if I really even went into major detail on two of my favorite bench tools. The first one here is the Soldering Station and SMD station. It's a 2-in-1 station. This one's a 8786D. I got this, I got this off Amazon. Now this isn't anything super special, so it's kind of almost entry level. I really like this unit though, for a variety of different reasons, and I'll just show you real quick. This isn't really a review channel so much, but just what you can do with some of the right tools, honestly. So this one here has the soldering pen, and when you turn this thing on, I have this set up in Celsius. It's a lot easier for me sometimes when I'm watching other videos. A lot of times videos aren't from this country, so they don't follow the same Fahrenheit system like the rest of the world. They've already switched over, so I kind of switched my system over to kind of match that, because if they have a soldering temperature and stuff like that, it's just easier to do it in Celsius along with the videos and stuff. If there's any kind of issues that I just hate trying to do conversion. So this is why it's in Celsius. So 200 degrees is a lot more than what you think it is. So this thing here heats up really fast, really nice, and it'll end up going to sleep after a certain amount of time, this unit here, and it'll automatically come back up as it's climbing. It's not instantly, but close enough that this thing will get hot as well. Comes with a wonderful stand that I have here, and what I have in the bottom here is all these tips that you can put on here. This is where the sponge usually goes, the moist sponge, but I end up putting the tips in there. You can also put the tips in here, and the cool thing with this I really like is you can do a hot swap. So say you want to switch to another tip, and these tips are, there's a variety of different sizes, right down to the minutely small, and even smaller, of course. They get tiny, which is what you need for today's stuff. It gets even more very small stuff we're working with. So this is cool, as this is already hot. You can see it's 400 degrees Celsius, but you can easily take this off, which is great. And you can pull this unit off and basically do a hot swap with it. If I can pull it off completely. There we go. So yeah, that's the basic tip, and you can put any tip on there that fits with this unit. So yeah, a variety of tips. You're not stuck with that, and you can do the hot swap. So you just basically put this back in, and that's it. So that's cool. I like this a lot. And then there also is the SMD rework, which is, you know, surface mount components. Those absolutely tiniest components you can possibly see, like a grain of salt, a grain of rice. Everything is just smaller. That's why these radios are getting so small, and all the features are built into the board. But that's also an issue. So this is also one of those. It's independently powered, so you can have this one on, which is now the heat gun, which what I end up calling that, but it's SM rework gun. And I actually use this a ton for heat shrink. So yeah, doing some splices, and you put a little solder on the splice, and then you go ahead and cover it with heat shrink. I know a lot of people end up doing the old lighter, but yeah, that's old days there, man. It gets soot all over your hands and burn and melts. So this gun, as you can see when you turn it on, starts up, and then you also have air control. Variety of different tips available on this as well, and you just put it back down. It'll, as you can see, it'll slowly cool down. But yeah, I like that because the airflow. Because if you're using surface mount components, you basically have to heat up everything around it. That's why I like this little tiny tip. And you can end up just getting the pieces put on the board, and you go try and solder it, and the air's too high. It'll blow the piece you're trying to solder off, and most of the times it'll warm up enough for it to solder, so it'll solder to another little tiny grain of rice, a little grain of sand, a little grain of salt. Those are the size of these things that coming down the pike now on these radios. So it's not through-hole components like before, where you could find a resistor. If it broke, it burned out, you'd see a little puff of smoke, or you'd see it burned or charred, or at least discolored. But these new ones, man, you just shuffle your shoes on carpet and touch something like that, boom, you can destroy those things as well, especially IC chips. It's amazing how much voltage is actually in a shock. So yeah, dry weather, things like that, always good to ground yourself. But I don't want to babble too much. But yeah, these two really get used a ton. I'm going to go ahead and just turn that off. And the other one I like is the Heiko FR301. You'd probably see this in a ton of videos. So yeah, this is basically just a vacuum desoldering gun. This thing here is unbelievable. Turn it on, power, set your adjustments down here, and then you have a nice hot tip at the end with a hollow point. So these are real simple to use, and it's actually so much fun. I buy sometimes I get these boards that are broke or damaged from other electronic devices, and instead of throwing them out, I'll rip the board apart and just play around and desolder, because these are awesome. Basically, you just put it over the solder blob on the bottom. You know, this is mostly through-hole components. As you go ahead, loosen it up with the heat of that tip, and then you just hit the suction, and the suction will take that solder, that's molten solder, and suck it up into this chamber. And this chamber, just, you know, you can release this chamber, and all your solder is inside, which I have a ton. I got to go ahead and clean out. But this is the two great devices that I mean, as soon as I started seeing this and the ease of use of these, and solder wick never worked for me. I couldn't get that ever to work for me as cleanly as I see other people. I probably could practice with it, but I really like that, especially if you're doing capacitor changeouts and you're dealing with a lot of components. You got to change out like 50 capacitors and such, like when I was doing on the Ranger videos, which you can see in the playlist. But yeah, when I recap that radio, that's basically, I used this and it was a dream. As soon as you knew where the holes were on the bottom, you could just flip this over and just boop, 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 and all the components would just slowly drop right onto the towel here. But yeah, I just wanted to show you my cool two new tools I really never went over. But yeah, I got a mess here. I was trying to lay out something kind of nice here, and I got the power here, which is great, but then I ended up loading it up. It's supposed to be just for generic plug and play, and you know, when I'm done with testing something, I can pull it off and go away and still have enough plugs. Well, as you can see, I've already loaded up all these plugs, and my 12-volt side is getting loaded up as well. But yeah, this is just my quick little setup here. I'm trying to keep a little organization, but this is not this is not a problem. This is real simple. Since we're all family on this channel, I will go ahead and show you something super embarrassing. It's all this time that I haven't been able to dedicate to cleaning up, so this kind of gets a little out of control. And then stuff that's coming in and things I need to either work on or fix or go through and decide if I need is over here. So let's go take y'all to over this way. This is rough, but yeah, this is the components I got here, and man, oh man, I can't wait to get to this, because I see this every day while working somewhat on a clean bench, that all this stuff is here. Just generic SWR meters over here. That was actually my first one. I think I got that for $20. Good old Workman SWR. About last year, actually. This channel's about a year old, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, we got the bird meter up there. We got frequency generator, function generator, oscilloscope, and the badly buried CMU 200 communication test set. Over here, we just got a variety of different stuff that I need to get to and go through, and it's been tedious when you just bury your head in a radio and it could be 3 hours later that you know, you decided, oh, this will take no time, and then you try and work on this. So yeah, this is an embarrassing part of the channel. I mean, I got a Meanwell 1500 back there, power supply. Oh man, the Tiny SA, and the Nano VNA vector analyzer, and the network analyzer, sorry, and the I think that's a EchoMaster microphone. Got a North Star 88 I was working on. I got my strikers back in here buried, and underneath that we got I got a yeah, that's the Clear Channel Ranger HR 3500, and yeah, I got a couple cool little amp boxes here. These are all self-contained. I got these on Amazon for like $20. This one here is a 100 amp. It comes with a 100 amp shunt. On the front here, it'll show you wattage. It'll show you amperage. It'll show you kilowatt per hour. This is usually used for what they say is you know, solar panels, charging battery packs, these kind of setup. But it already comes with a shunt, 100 amp shunt in this one, and I think this was $2 more, and this is a 300 amp. So it'll be very nice to be able to get this set up. Nice backlight on these. I mean, I got transistor tester, which I use every once in a while, but yeah, I have to organize this terrible mess. I got an Anytone DMR walkie-talkie radio I need to get to. My old Shooting Star, that's the one with the SD 1446. It's familiar, you've seen that in Motor Junkies videos. He has a couple of those, and it's not the exact same one, similar. Mine has SD 1446s in it, 2 of them, and yeah, I used to run that with the striker, but it didn't work out so well. A little bit of a trouble. But yeah, I got a lot of stuff. There's a project box for these. But yeah, I got to get all this set up so it's actually usable. And some of the stuff I need to eBay. I got a pair of shoes back there and I need to put on actually and wear. But yeah, there's, you know, just a variety of different stuff that I've accumulated but never got around to actually putting in place. We got some green space in the shack though. Kind of offsets the toxic fumes from the soldering stations I got here. But I wanted to go over something real quick as well, why I actually got all this. And remember a year ago? Who can forget? Everyone's sitting around twiddling thumbs, waiting for whatever to happen so we can get back to normal, and we're still trying to get there. But yeah, not really in the mood to talk about all that stuff. I remember way back when I got these stations, and the reason I got them, I was like, I need to make some kits, some electronic kits, and I never got around to really finding any kits. The last kits I remember from my day were, my day, 90s, growing up as a teenager in the 90s. Ramsey Electronics used to put out kits. They had a ton of different cool kits. And the only one I really wanted was the FM transmitter. I wanted to make a radio station and all that stuff. But, I didn't have the money then. Never got around to it. They were really cool, but now those things are so coveted you can't find them. Well, every once in a while someone will throw up a kit that's actually has not been used. It's brand new in the box. But they don't make any of that stuff anymore. Ramsey Electronics is still around, but they got rid of their kit division, and it's kind of in good reason. A lot of these kits are now SMDs. What else are you going to use? A lot of the through-hole components, that was great back in the day, but now everything's starting to go at SMD. You need all this stuff just to be a basic hobbyist putting together electronics. Back in the day, in the 60s, my father used to put together all kind of stuff. You could put CB radios together, you put home stereo together, he put one of those together. Light boxes where it would now it's just common. Back when I was a kid, it was a light organ box, so it was inside, Christmas lights all inside it, colored Christmas lights. It's just what they used. It was ICO kits, and it was about the size of a speaker, and the lights would flash different colors with the different music playing, with the different tones. Cool stuff. Now you can find it in everything that you can get. You could set it up to Philips Hue and Alexa and be able to flash whatever light you want, whatever color you want. So technology has definitely passed us by. They even have them in little Bluetooth speakers, all inclusive. But I thought it was cool in the day, and then of course that blew up, and the parts were hard to find for that. It's ridiculous. However, we were able to try and recreate kits in today's age. Got all this stuff. I'm sitting around twiddling thumbs, and I want to build some stuff. And I'm looking around online for kits. So I'm going to show you what I ended up getting. Down here, I'll back it up a little bit. I got a couple of different kits. Just to be able to play with this stuff, even though I've kind of got the kits after the fact of actually working and playing around with this stuff and having some time to be able to put these together. So let's see, kit number 1. See, so we got a Rocketbox 500, and this is a MOSFET amp. It's not like a 2879s, HD 2879s, or any of those transistors. This is the next phase in RF amplification is MOSFETs. So I got one of these. As you can see, it's pretty half populated, which is nice. You got to put in combiners, transformers, a couple capacitors, and of course all the MOSFETs. And cool thing is, this is just like the other ones. You see this is similar to the one I had over there, that shooting star. And these amps that basically go in place and slide in. Of course I don't have it in the track, but yeah, basically it goes like that, and then the screws will match up with the MOSFETs and be able to heat sink all that and get that. So that is kit 1. I was like, well, that's not going to take too long. Let me go ahead and just do another one. So we got the 1000 here as well. So this one is, as you can tell, it's pretty beastly here. And yeah, got a lot of components to populate on the board here. And of course it comes with the instructions and all the goodies inside for that, and the instructions and all the goodies for that. So we're going to end up doing both of those kits, and be able to put this together and have a little fun with the soldering station. But I really don't need amps and that much anymore. I kind of just use this ICOM over here, and they don't play well with these amps. I wouldn't want to do that to them. It gives me 100 watts if I need it. you hear the skit clips I put up yesterday. That was it was more than enough. It's all conditions. So yeah, check out the video from this. But before this one, it'll be 50 minutes. I don't expect you to sit through it all of skip clips. But yeah, it was one right after the other, and I pretty much did a tour of the South. During the conditions, and it was really crazy because it started out with no conditions, and then out of nowhere I made a call, and then everybody lit up. So we had good conditions from South Carolina to everywhere. And then I already built this one. And this one here is the 250, and I got to relabel this. But yeah, these are all Rocketboxes. You see, that's basically the plug-in, plug-out of these. There's the MOSFETs right there, and those are fed with the ERF 9530 by Palomar, and these are the old Palomar design on these, but they were set with the SD 1446s, or they were set with the MRF 454s and that. But yeah, we've moved into this kind of territory, so we're going to have to go ahead and get this stuff put together, and probably sell all those off. I don't need them. So if you ever wanted to know about these, I'm probably going to build these off camera. It's just basically putting parts in place and soldering it. I'll show you maybe little snippets here and there, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and build some amp kits real quick, and probably sell these off as well. But yeah, this will be fun. We'll hopefully get all that stuff over there cleaned up and organized and unboxed and installed. I just have the 50 amp power supply up there. The 100 amp is just sitting in a box. It's been there for a month. Yeah, so I just appreciate each and every one of you, and I gotta try and get things organized so I can do a better job of this channel. It's really starting to get to me. Anyway, I hope you all are having a good morning, and I will see you in the next video. And it'll probably be a little bit of an update on this stuff, and not in too much depth of detail. A lot of people don't like amps and don't follow along with super technical stuff, and I understand that too. So but please, anything you want to see, throw a comment down below. I'll go ahead and try and do my best to get it out in a video, explained as best as I can do it. But yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you hear me on the radio, I'm 1200 world radio, worldwide sidebander 1200, and international sidebander 1200. So 1200 in South Carolina. So if you hear me on the air, go ahead and throw me a wave, and let me know down below when we talked, and maybe every once in a while I'll have this the video gate rolling and be able to put you up on the radio as well. That would be kind of nice. You'll be able to hear yourself on the YouTube videos from my radio, which is a very minimal setup. But anyway, enough babbling for me. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Mash the bell, mash whatever down there. There's a lot of stuff down there, but yeah, hit all the buttons. Why not? You could end up rich. Who knows? All right, I'll talk with you in the next video. Appreciate each and every one of you. And 73.